I'm super, super, super excited to bring this message to you today. I have some notes so that I can stay focused and that I won't get all off topic. But today I was having a conversation with a friend and it charged me up, you guys, if you can't already tell. So I'm having this conversation with this friend and I'm talking about, different things that I have going on in my life, and she's talking about different things that she has going on in her life. And so I said, you know what? There's so many times that when you're pursuing good, you're going to feel resistance. You're going to feel like this thing, this tension, something is coming up against you and you don't know what it is and you can't explain it. And so as I'm talking to her, I said, whenever we do something for God, you have to expect that the enemy is not going to like that. You have to expect that he's going to come up against you. And he's going to try to come up against you in three different ways. He's either going to try to distract you, disqualify you, or destroy you. And I said it just like that. And it was like, bam, right? Knew God had given that to me to share with her. And so the first thing I want to talk about is how the enemy tries to distract us. If you're like me, sometimes I've got just tunnel vision, right? There's some times that I'm super focused, like a laser. If you've ever seen a horse race, you know that they put blinders on the horses. And I've talked about this in other videos before, but they put these blinders on the horses so that the horses can be very focused, so that they're not getting distracted by what's in their peripheral vision. And sometimes what happens with us is because we don't have those blinders on, we get distracted by the shiny stuff. I know I do. And so sometimes the shiny stuff can be good stuff. Like sometimes for me, it can be a ministry, or it can be friends, or it can be Friendship Fridays, or it can be the kids stuff. My kids are super, super busy. And so sometimes that just distracts me from the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And maybe you can fill in the blank with the things that distract you. So that's the first way that he'll try to just take you out, is he'll try to distract you. But if he can't distract you, then what he'll try to do is he'll just try to disqualify you. And the way that the enemy disqualifies you, a lot of times it's through your own stuff, right? We all have stuff. We all have sin. We all have weaknesses. We all have things that disqualifies us, or that can disqualify us. Maybe he'll use your past. Maybe he'll use other people that will try to come up against you, haters or whatever, people who would try to disqualify you, people who will say, well, who does she think she is? Who does he think he is? Maybe it's in your own mind. Maybe you ask yourself, who do I think I am? I can't do X, Y, Z. I can't really fulfill this purpose that I believe that I have. So whether he tries to distract you, sometimes he'll try to disqualify you. And if he can't do that, he'll just full out try to destroy you. The Bible says that the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, right? And so sometimes he'll just try to take you out, like physically take you out. When I was 3 years old, I had a near-death experience. I was driving down the street with my aunt and some of my cousins in a car. And this is like back in the day before seatbelt laws and, all of that. So it was like 7 of us probably piled up in this little car. And I'm very curious and inquisitive, if you know. Some people call it nosy. I don't really like that term. But anyway, so I'm, messing with the door lock. And if my aunt or cousin, or if y'all are watching this video, they can vouch for the story. So I'm messing with the door lock and I fall out of a moving car, just fall out on the street. And I roll underneath a school bus. Okay. Now it is by the grace of God that I was 3. I wasn't killed by falling out of a moving car, and B, I wasn't killed from the school bus running over top of me and crushing me. There are times, not just that story, but there have been other instances, danger seen and unseen, that I believe that I have been close to death. So there are times in your life where the enemy, if he can't discredit you, if he can't disqualify you, if he can't distract you, he'll just try to destroy your life. Maybe he's not trying to kill you physically, but maybe he wants to keep you depressed. He wants to keep working on your mind to get you just completely out of the will of God, so that you will not accomplish the purpose that God has for your life. And so today I was sitting there thinking about this as God's given me this word as I'm speaking this with my friend. And I didn't go into all this detail with her, but as I'm talking about this, I'm riding home from work and I said, you know what? It's D-Day. It is D-Day for the enemy, because I'm sick and tired of him destroying the people of God. I'm so sick and tired of people not fulfilling their God-given purpose. And I said, today is D-Day. But I don't know enough about D-Day, so I was like, well, let me Google it and see what that's all about. You guys get this. D-Day was an Allied invasion of Normandy in World War II. It was the largest seaborne invasion in the history of wars. Guess what? The date of D-Day was June 6th, 1944. Now, if you're watching this video on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, and it's not June 6th, that probably doesn't mean a lot to you. But today, the time that I'm recording this, today is June 6th. So 73 years to the day 73 years ago, was D-Day. And guess what? My encouragement to you is that it is D-Day in your life. What are you going to do about the enemy who keeps trying to destroy the purposes of God in your life? So Dwight D. Eisenhower said this to the troops. Listen to this. He said, "Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. If you don't believe that there is an enemy after your purpose, you are mistaken. Whether you are a Christian or whether you are not, there is an enemy after the purpose of God in your life, and he is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. Maybe that's why your marriage is in such shambles. Maybe that's why your kids are acting crazy. Maybe that's why your finances are all out of control. Maybe that's why you feel like you're going to lose your mind at any moment. Because you started to pursue the purpose of God in your life, and the enemy is fighting you savagely. But take heart and listen to this. Eisenhower continues and he says, I have full confidence. He's talking to the troops. He says, I have full confidence in your courage and in your devotion to duty and skill and battle. When I read this, I just really felt like God was saying that to me, and he's saying it to you. He's saying, take heart. I have full confidence in your courage. Be courageous. Be strong and courageous, it says in the book of Joshua. Eisenhower continues and he says, we will accept nothing less than full victory. On D-Day, over 9,000 soldiers lost their lives, but it allowed over 100,000 other soldiers to invade and to be able to wipe out the whole German Nazi regime. There's going to be some sacrifices along the way. You're going to have to maybe give up some friends, give up some free time, give up some of the things that you want to do if you're going to fulfill the purpose of God in your life. But I hope that this video is encouraging you that whatever you have, whatever God has placed in your lap, whatever he has placed in your hand to do, that you pursue it. People tell me all the time, they're like, Dana, you're a go-getter, you're a go-getter. And the truth of the matter is, I don't always feel like going and getting, okay? There are times that I just feel like sleeping and being lazy. But I know that the purpose of God for my life is too big. It's not my own, first of all. I don't have the right to sleep on it. There are things that God has called me to do. There are things that God has called you to do that will not get done if you don't do it. I had a conversation with some really good friends of mine last night, husband and wife team, and they're probably watching, and I'm going to keep you accountable like I told you, but we're talking about the different things that we believe that God has called us to do. And so the husband was talking about how he had this great vision and how God had given him this word, but for whatever reason, he hasn't moved on it yet. And so this, the conversation I was having with them last night, the conversation I was having with my friend today, and just overall, I want my life, and hopefully you want your life, to count for something more than just cute clothes, makeup, and having a happy life. It's got to be bigger than that, guys. It's got to be bigger than that. You should want to leave something that after you have died and you have left this world, that you can say, I left a legacy. I left something for somebody else to follow in. I left something for somebody else to enjoy. And so if you are with me, if you are sick and tired of the enemy beating you up, taking your dreams, scaring you, if you're sick and tired of having a lack of faith, I want you to comment in this video, we will not accept anything less than full victory. We got this, guys. Let's do it.